10 once thriving UK towns that are now struggling. Once upon a time, certain towns across the United Kingdom stood tall with pride, homes of steel, coal, linen, or leisure. They were the lifeblood of the country's working class, brimming with purpose and identity. Today, those same towns tell a different story of decline, closure, and quiet struggle. Yet behind each crumbling high street or faded pier lies a community that still hopes. In this video, we'll explore 10 once thriving UK towns that are now struggling, revealing not only what they lost, but what they still dream of becoming again. 10. Shotton, Flintshire, Wales. Shotton once roared with the sound of steel. The sprawling Shotton Steelworks dominated the skyline and the economy, employing more than 6,000 workers at its peak. It wasn't just an industry, it was the pulse of the town. Families lived, loved, and built their futures around those furnaces. But the wind of change came fast. By the early 1970s, a brutal blow fell. One of the UK's largest single-day mass redundancies saw thousands lose their livelihoods. The aftermath was slow and painful. Unemployment rose, local shops shut, youth moved away. Today, Shotton clings to remnants of its industrial base, with Tata Steel still operating in a much reduced capacity. Community-led projects and small-scale developments have sparked small embers of progress. But for many, Shotton remains a place trying to recover its footing after a fall that shook its very foundation. 9. Fraserburgh, Aberdeenshire, Scotland. Known as the Broch, Fraserburgh's history is tethered to the sea. This Scottish town once boasted one of Europe's busiest herring ports. Generations lived by the tides, and the harbour was always alive, with shouting fishermen, clanging metal, and the promise of trade. Then came the quotas. The herring shoals dwindled and regulations tightened. Jobs vanished. Boats were docked, then sold. Fraserburgh's economy weakened, and many families who had known nothing but fishing were left adrift in a new reality. Today, Fraserburgh faces some of the highest unemployment in Aberdeenshire. Many young people leave for Aberdeen or beyond. However, the town has been exploring new paths. Heritage tourism, marine technology, and food processing are being touted as potential lifelines. But the transition has been slow, and the memory of the old harbour days still lingers heavily in the salty air. 8. Clacton-on-Sea, Essex, England. In its heyday, Clacton-on-Sea was the very definition of the classic British seaside escape. Holidaymakers from London poured in by train, suitcases in hand, ready for fun on the sand and thrills on the pier. Butlins opened one of its earliest camps here, and the town sparkled with joy. But sunshine elsewhere proved too tempting. As package holidays became affordable, families flocked to Spain and beyond. Clacton's fortunes faded. Many hotels closed or were converted into social housing. Shops began to disappear, and once proud buildings fell into disrepair. Today, Clacton ranks among the most economically deprived towns in Essex. Poor housing, low employment, and health issues are common. Yet, the town hasn't given up. Investment is returning slowly, the pier still draws day trippers, and local voices are demanding long-term regeneration. The tide may one day turn again. 7. Ballymoney, County Antrim, Northern Ireland. Ballymoney was never a city, but it didn't need to be. It had pride. A centre of linen production, agriculture, and market trade, it thrived quietly in the rural tapestry of Northern Ireland. Its railway station connected it to wider opportunities, and its people lived with purpose and tradition. But rural Northern Ireland changed. Industry slipped away, and so did investment. Many young people saw no future and left for Belfast, Derry, or abroad. Schools and public services grew overstretched. Infrastructure improvements lagged far behind the rest of the UK. Still, Ballymoney holds on. Its history is etched in stone walls and whispered in small town conversations. With the right push, perhaps a renewed focus on rural development or heritage tourism, it could awaken again. But for now, it waits with quiet dignity for a better tomorrow. 6. Irvine, North Ayrshire, Scotland. Irvine was meant to be a symbol of renewal. Chosen in the 1960s as a new town, it promised space, industry, and modern living to thousands moving from Glasgow's overcrowded streets. For a while, it delivered. Factories opened, homes were built. Irvine looked forward. But industries didn't stay. As manufacturing declined across the UK, Irvine lost its economic engine. Today, it ranks among Scotland's most deprived towns. Unemployment is high, and health inequalities are widespread. Crime, though relatively low, remains a concern in certain areas. Yet, Irvine still shines in places. Its harbour side is a scenic gem, and the Scottish Maritime Museum offers a glimpse of the town's potential. Local initiatives are working to restore community pride, but structural issues persist. The dream of Irvine as a modern model town remains, but it needs more than hope. 5. Ebbw Vale, Blaenau Gwent, Wales. Ebbw Vale once rang with the thunder of steel. For decades, the town was a titan of heavy industry, its steelworks among the largest in Europe. Generations of families depended on those jobs, and the town thrived in the rhythm of furnace and forge. In 2002, that rhythm stopped. The steelworks closed. Thousands were left without work. Ebbw Vale's economic core collapsed almost overnight. Since then, the town has tried to reinvent itself. The steelworks site has been transformed into a learning and health campus, a hospital, a college, a school, a new beginning perhaps. But the scars remain. Ebbw Vale still ranks near the bottom in Welsh employment and income statistics. Young people leave in droves. Public transport is limited and businesses struggle. The town has rebuilt its skyline, but rebuilding confidence and opportunity will take even longer. 4. Jaywick, Essex, England. Jaywick is the most misunderstood town in Britain. Born as a 1930s holiday camp for East Londoners, it never meant to be permanent. But over the decades, the temporary turned permanent, and what was once a cheerful retreat became a town with deep problems. Jaywick has consistently ranked as the most deprived area in England. Many homes are poorly constructed and at risk of flooding. Public transport is sparse. Job opportunities are rare. The town's name is often used unfairly in tabloid ridicule, and yet Jaywick has heart, a strong community, people who care, help, and refuse to give up. Local campaigns have brought in small amounts of investment, and change is slow, but possible. Jaywick may not be glamorous, but it is home, and homes deserve dignity. 3. Portadown, County Armagh, Northern Ireland. Portadown was once the hub of the north. A bustling market town, it thrived on linen, engineering and trade. The river Bann gave it life, and the railway gave it reach. Its people built a proud, industrious culture. Then came the Troubles. Political tension took its toll, dividing communities and discouraging investment. Industrial decline came next. Jobs moved elsewhere. Stores closed. The town centre became tired and quiet. Today, Portadown faces challenges that reflect decades of instability and neglect. Youth unemployment is high, and mental health services are stretched. However, regeneration projects are slowly taking root. Community centres, retail spaces, and industrial parks offer signs of hope, but healing takes time, and Portadown is still in that process. 2. Tredegar, Blaenau Gwent, Wales. Tredegar's story is written in coal and cast in iron. The town helped fuel the Industrial Revolution and later gifted Britain one of its most important legacies, a Newrin Bevan, the founder of the NHS. At its peak, Tredegar was alive with purpose, built on the sweat of its miners and metalworkers. But with industry gone, what's left? High deprivation, low employment, declining health, schools struggling. Tredegar, like many South Wales towns, has suffered a quiet erosion, one that's hard to capture in headlines but easy to feel in daily life. Yet pride remains. The legacy of Bevan is more than symbolic. Community efforts continue, and heritage sites remind locals and visitors of Tredegar's past importance. The town may be down, but it carries a fire that history cannot extinguish. 1. Blackpool, Lancashire, England. Topping the list of once thriving UK towns that are now struggling, Blackpool is a place of brilliance and heartbreak. It once defined British leisure, home to tower ballrooms, donkey rides, and the unforgettable sparkle of the illuminations. For decades, it welcomed millions, but over time, holiday habits changed. International travel boomed, investment dropped, social issues multiplied. Today, Blackpool suffers from some of the UK's highest rates of child poverty, addiction, and poor health. Once grand hotels now serve as emergency housing. The town centre is littered with boarded-up shops. Yet even now, Blackpool refuses to surrender. New investments in entertainment, transport links, and family attractions aim to turn things around. The ballroom still hosts dancers. The tower still stands proud, and the sea still sings its timeless song. Blackpool isn't just a struggling town. It's a symbol, for better and worse, of how quickly fortunes can change and how deeply places matter. These once thriving UK towns that are now struggling carry stories of rise, fall, and quiet courage. While industries may have faded, their people remain rooted in memory and hope. With the right focus and support, these towns could shine once more, not as echoes of the past, but beacons of renewal. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell.